Welcome to Downton Abbey, a podcast for Downton Abbey fans. Now, presenting your host, Sandy Maxx.
Hello, I'm Sandy with an important update. My fellow Downton Abbey fans, we have to wait several weeks longer to see the eagerly anticipated Downton Abbey sequel film. The release date is officially delayed. There are now two different release dates, one for the UK and one for the US. The Downton Abbey, A New Era film was originally scheduled for Christmas time, 2021, but then postponed to March 18th, 2022, which is a date I've had circled on my calendar. This information comes from the official press release from Focus Features, the film company distributing the movie. I'll read this press release to you. Dun, da, da, da. The headline says, the highly anticipated sequel will now open in theaters on April 29th in the UK and May 20th in the US. Dated Los Angeles, California, January 26th, 2022. Focus Features, Universal Pictures International, and Carnival Films announce that global release dates will shift to late spring for the highly anticipated film sequel, Downton Abbey, A New Era. The film, previously dated for March 18th, 2022, will now launch in theaters exclusively in the UK on April 29th, 2022, and in the US on May 20th, 2022. From award-winning creator Julian Fellowes comes the motion picture event, Downton Abbey, A New Era. The much-anticipated cinematic return of the global phenomenon reunites the beloved cast as they go on a grand journey to the south of France to uncover the mystery of the Dowager Countess's newly inherited villa. The original principal cast have returned for the second film, along with new additions Hugh Dancy, Laura Haddock, Natalie Bay, and Dominic West. The screenplay is written by Downton creator and Academy Award winner Julian Fellowes, with Emmy and BAFTA award-winning Gareth Neame and Emmy award-winning Liz Trubridge producing with Fellowes. BAFTA and Emmy-nominated Simon Curtis is directing. Downton Abbey, A New Era is a Carnival Films production with Focus Features and Universal Pictures International distributing. Carnival Films is a part of NBC Universal International Studios, a division of Universal Studio Group. So that's the official press release from Focus Features. I also got in my inbox an email from Focus Features about all of their upcoming springtime releases. That email had a link to their website listing out each film with a paragraph description. For Downton Abbey, A New Era, it lists out the new May 20th U.S. release date, but no other information about the release date being changed again. There is a pretty lively description of the film, though. It reads, Downton Abbey, A New Era, May 20th. Get ready for the film event of 2022 when Downton Abbey, A New Era steps into the future in this effervescent sequel. Quote, everything from entertainment to transport was really different by the end of the 20s, end quote, explains creator and screenwriter Julian Fellowes. Quote, that's what we're referring to in that title, end quote. In addition to the original cast, Hugh Dancy, Laura Haddock, Natalie Bay, and Dominic West join in the fun as the Crawleys and their staff travel to the south of France to vacation in a grand villa the Dowager Countess has mysteriously inherited. Simon Curtis, who directed My Week with Marilyn, will be taking over the helm for this sequel that Fellowes promises to be an, quote, unashamedly feel-good movie, end quote. That's a fun paragraph that kind of sells the sizzle. While some reports claim that the delay in the release is due to the most recent surge of COVID-19, there's nothing in any official film company announcements that I can find. But some other interesting news about the movie sequel comes from actress Elizabeth McGovern. She's been doing interviews promoting her starring role as Ava Gardner in the play Ava, The Secret Conversations. It's on stage now at London's Riverside Studios. McGovern is married to Simon Curtis, who is the director of the sequel film, and she gave some details that we didn't know before about the plot. In an interview with the Daily Mail, McGovern said that the Downton Abbey sequel will be set in 1928, so just shortly after the first film. Now, instead of the king and queen coming to visit, this time, it's Hollywood. With the motion picture business starting to incorporate sound with talkie films in the 20s, the plot of Downton Abbey, A New Era, will include the Crawleys opening their home to a film director and movie stars as they film on location. Art imitating life, right? Considering that Lord and Lady Carnarvon have opened their home of Highclere Castle to the cast and crew of Downton Abbey since 2010. You'll see Dominic West as a Hollywood actor, Laura Haddock as a silent screen star, and Hugh Dancy as the director. So how are we feeling about the news about having to wait even longer to see the sequel film? I'm interested in your thoughts, and I'll share my thoughts and even some concerns. Stay with me. Okay, so we've had some time to let the Downton Abbey sequel delay sink in. How do we feel about this? Well, I'm disappointed. You got to wait a little longer to have the new story with some of my favorite characters. I got to wait. Okay, sure, I'm disappointed, bit disheartened. I think I'm also concerned about the thought of the buildup of even more anticipation could create bigger expectations from some fans and thus a larger risk for disappointment. With this extra time, we all hope it's a fully polished diamond with no flaws and the perfect amount of time with each character, right? The TV series set such a high standard. This delay kind of creates more pressure for the story that Julian Fellowes created to be very strong. What's good about the delay? For me, it gives me more time to do some of the really fun ideas I have for this podcast and interview even more fans and try to get some wish list guests. What's bad about this delay to me is I'm concerned about the two different dates. Avoiding spoilers. April 29th is when the film is released in the UK. Then the movie comes out 3 weeks later in the US. How can anyone avoid spoilers? Because I really enjoyed just going into the film, the first film, not knowing anything. We were all surprised. So that is, I don't know what my strategy will be to avoid spoilers. Other than that, I guess I'm just sort of curious why the delay. I'm not suspicious or anything, but just curious. I've managed many a project in my career. I know how deliverables can get postponed and deadlines can slip, or if somebody can't show up for work and finish their job. It happens. Just curious. But let's have fun together while we wait just a bit longer for our favorite characters to return to the big screen. Let's play right here on the podcast, where you're always welcome to participate. Until the next episode is published, I invite you to listen to Season 1 episodes of Downton Abbey for fun conversations about Downton Abbey itself, the show, different characters. It's a bit of a pre-pandemic kick to look back at the anticipation, expectations, and amusing reviews of the very first film. And this is a very inclusive podcast. I really welcome you to be a part of it. This is a place for Downton Abbey fans to come together. You can participate any way you can or any way you want to, whether it's leaving podcast reviews or emailing me, sending me an audio reply with a voice note, with a question, or respond through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please spread the word. And when you share the podcast with a Facebook post or a tweet, if you use hashtag Downton Blabby, I can find you and reshare. And that's BLABBEY. So it's like Abby with a BL in front, right? Spread the good word of Downton Blabby in your own way. Plus, please sign up for my email list at sandymax.com. That's spelled SANDYMAXX.com. And please tell your favorite Downton Abbey fan about this podcast so we can all share in the fun as the movie release approaches. Your rating and your review of Downton Abbey help me know what you like about the podcast and what you want to hear on this show. Apple Podcasts and Google and lots of other podcast platforms make it pretty easy to leave 5 stars, and just even a quick sentence of a review puts a smile on my face, and I feel like I've connected with someone. Thank you again for listening to this movie update. I'll post special episodes like this one when news about the film comes out, and the next episode will feature an interview with my longtime friend, John Suntress of the Word Balloon podcast. Again, a very special thank you to Tall Paul Russell, who is wonderful. He is the voice you hear at the beginning of this episode. I'm Sandy Maxx. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to meeting you back here on Downton Abbey.